Hi there, and welcome to the intersection of politics and comedy. Comedy, politics in general. Oh shit. Anyway, there is a clip going around of Theo Vaughn, great comedian Theo Vaughn, um, commenting on the war in Gaza, and let's give it a listen.
It's a genocide that's happening while we're alive here in front of our lives. People like putting their kids back together, probably like one of the sickest things that's ever happened. And I'm sorry if I've kind of haven't said about it. I've tried to talk about it and learn about it. I just wanted to say something. I don't even know what to do. And it's crazy because our country's also complicit in it. It's in it and has been for a long time. And it's just kind of interesting because then you just realize, oh well, I'm a member of this country, but I'm just what we want sometimes doesn't matter. Yeah. So just praying for those people and just the grief that is all going to cause. You notice, like, what are we doing?
That was very powerful, right? And it's I think there's I think there's something missing here. And it's really hard to come at it, but let me try anyway, Theo. Imagine that you were out there playing in your front yard with your parents. I know you had shitty parents, so did I. But let's imagine for a second here that we had kind and loving parents who gave a shit about us, and we were out playing in the front yard. And then this like fucking Thor from Game of Thrones kind of guy comes charging at us and or at you and your family or us. Let me put myself in there. And our parents get in the door and they lock the door and we don't get in. And this disgustingly brutal man, let's call him Israel, starts beating us and hurting us and torturing us. We ask him to stop, and he says, I will, as soon as your parents come out here. And the torture and the beating and the nearly History X stomping, but since we don't have any streets, because, whatever. No, anyway, happens. And yet, our parents do not come out and say, here we are, mercy on our children, leave them alone. Here we are. What, we'll take our punishment. It has to be Hamas's responsibility at some point. That doesn't negate anything Israel has done. It doesn't alleviate the killing of the women and the children and the elder of humans. It doesn't fucking matter what gender or age or sex you are. You're fucking dead. You're fucking dead. But at what fucking point is the mass murdering and killing of Palestinians on the fucking head of Hamas? I stopped supporting Israel from the moment they fucking did that pager attack, because that proved to me that they had other means. They did not need to go in on a full-scale war. So it's not about support for Israel. Fuck Israel. I support their right to exist, and that's it. But at some point, Hamas is to fucking blame. They're still fucking playing games. Give up the fucking hostages. Come out. Say stop. Mercy for my people. Theo, you come across as one of the people of the comic with a ginormous fucking heart. And I don't blame you for what you're saying. You're right in everything you said. But I guarantee you, around you in your little circle of friends, or when you stand around, or when you're listening to, hey, you know what, America hasn't won a war since. Well, this is what winning a war looks like. So maybe be grateful that that American politician says, yeah, we don't need to have the biggest dig in the room. We can withdraw. We're stopping the bloodshed. And that's not to excuse anything that we have done. But at some point, Hamas, no matter what Israel has done, is to blame for not fucking stopping this and not just handing over the hostages and saying, yes, we lost, we surrender, stop hurting our people. Mercy for our people. It fucking sucks. I want that war to end. I want the killing to end. I'm outraged. But I'm not just going to blame one party. It takes two to fucking dance. And I'm not going to dance through history and pick some random date that suits my fucking argument for who has a right to be there or not. There's a fucking nation there. They got to figure it out. And no matter what, at some point, the continuation of the killing and the war and the slaughter and the death is on Hamas. Doesn't make Israel better. It doesn't make any of the war crimes that they have committed and fucking filmed themselves doing. Doesn't excuse any of that, and they should all be punished. Prime Minister Netanyahu should be arrested, flown to The Hague, and stand trial for all the war crimes committed. So should the last three administrations in America, but that's a different story. But the continuation of thinking that we can give, that this support that Hamas is using to say, look, we're winning, to their people, so they stand for a little more suffering for a little longer for a war they cannot win. They can't. They have less of a chance of winning than Ukraine does. With or without American support. So please, no matter how much you hate Israel, how much you wish it doesn't exist, how much you wish things were different, it is time to demand that Hamas unconditionally surrender so we can end this war and save the lives of the Palestinians who have been a political football for as long as they have existed as a people. Please take care of each other. Please take care of yourself.